Okay. Ekant, you are writing something. You had written something in the chat box. So, ma'am, I think you can see that. And
yes, ma'am. I'll discuss with them.
yeah. Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, you can continue with the session as the students will keep on joining for another 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay, then I'll start my session then.
Okay, ma'am.
Good morning. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Let's start with the today's session. And Ekant, what you want? You want me to explain this command or what? Because the yesterday session which we have done, first tell me, have all you have done the homework, the task which I gave you? Type yes or no, the task which I gave you. But we'll discuss the task in the evening session, don't worry.
So, kindly respond, participants.
Okay, just type yes or no if you are able to do that. Otherwise, I'll perform that, no problem in that. Just type yes or no. Okay, Shivam, no. Okay. 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 Is it difficult to implement that? Yeah. Yes, I can't. This one. The ball. We have to take this one. Okay, Vishakha, don't worry. I'll explain that. No problem. And open CV is not that कि आप एक ही दिन में सब grasp कर लोगे absorb कर लोगे और काम करना start कर दोगे. You need practice for that. So that's okay because you have a time and I'm with you, so you can practice for that. So there is no need to panic. We will do that. Okay. Yes, I can't. That's good if you have done that because I can see your code. That's very good. Okay, Shivam. No problem. You can try that. We can discuss later also. So should we start with the today's session? Because today is very interesting session that is on Scikit library and which is mainly used for machine learning. So what we have to do, but first we have to understand machine learning and what's the difference between machine learning, deep learning and your artificial intelligence. Then we'll move forward to our scikit learning library, which we have for the machine learning algorithm. Okay, just tell me, have you studied machine learning earlier or not? Just type yes or no. Okay, no. Okay. Okay. Kind of. Okay. Okay. No problem because we'll start with the scratch that how a model can be built and how we can apply that. Okay, so you don't need to be in panic. So we will start from the very basic, from the library, that is the scikit-learn library, which, okay, you haven't, okay, okay. Where I have to share my notes, I'll ask ma'am and I'll share with the ma'am, okay? Khushi, because I don't have that email ID. Yes, Ekant, okay, first I'll explain this to you because there is the one function which we have created yesterday with the name click event, right? Did you remember? We have created one function with the def and the name of the event click event. Okay, so we are passing that that function to it with the image that you have to supply, that you have to apply on this image, this event, this function, and the property, the functionality which we are providing on this function, we have to apply on this image. So there is another function in CV2 library in your OpenCV that is set mouse callback. Okay, this is a function or a method, you can say that. For which in which we can define how you can call your function on which image. So, and because I am applying this function because I want to get the features in an image and with the help of my mouse where I click. So that was a mouse event, right? So that's why the function used for it is set mouse callback. So that's the main functionality which you have written. Is it understood, Ekan? Yes, Ekan. Just okay. That's great. Should we start with the today's session? Then in evening we'll do your ball problem also, right? So let's start with today's session. Yeah. So as the screen is visible to you, because for today's topic, we have to cover scikit-learn, right? So what is scikit-learn? It's a library which is based again in your Python, and mainly it is used for implementing machine learning algorithms. Okay. So I'll explain what is machine learning, why we are using, and why it is more popular. Just wait for a little bit. And it is this library is very simple and easy to implement. Why we are saying it's easy and simple to implement? Because the algorithm in which we are having in machine learning, right? I'll explain the algorithm to you also. The algorithm which we are having in machine learning, we can just implement with the code of 3 to 4 lines in this your with the help of your scikit-learn library. Instead, you will write your own code on your own algorithm. That is, you have to implement, you have to define functions, you have to take the parameters, you have to identify which problem to be solved. So instead of doing that, we have a scikit-learn library in which all the algorithms of the machine learning are already stored. Okay, so we just have to use that. For example, you have linear regression, multi-regression, you have logistic regression. So what are they? These are the algorithms. I'll explain, don't worry. So these are the algorithms which functionality. So the functionality of all the algorithms are stored in the scikit-learn library. That's why we are learning scikit-learn library for implementing the machine learning algorithm, right? And it also supports a variety of features in machine learning algorithm. Now, machine learning algorithms, what they do, they follow various steps to perform machine learning algorithm, like data pre-processing, classification, regression. What are they? I'll discuss in coming slides, so don't worry. So these are the features, these are the steps which I have to take in machine learning. So these are the steps are already inbuilt in scikit-learn. So you don't need to write your own code, you just have to use this scikit-learn library. So everything has pros and cons for that. So why it is having advantage for that? So if you are a newcomer in machine learning and if you want to explore how algorithm is working and what are the various feature and you don't have time also, so that's why you can use scikit-learn library. But if you want actually go into the development, you want to build your new algorithm, okay, that means that you want to go into the research. So if you want to build your new algorithm, then you should start from the scratch. That is, you should build your own algorithm. You should define functions and each parameter which you can take. So, but if you are working in an industry, you don't need to do this kind of research. You can just directly use scikit-learn library, and you can just do perform the analysis and the algorithm which you are doing for your job. So I hope scikit-learn library is clear to you. Type yes or no. Okay, yes, that's great. Okay, that's great. Now, in earlier session, we have seen our NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib. Covered that topic because your scikit-learn library requirement, which is upon the top of your SI, NumPy, Matplotlib. That's why I've done that to implement scikit-learn library. So all these are really we are using like the library. That's why we have studied that. Okay. Starting with the machine, I'll tell you the difference are domains that and deep learning. Okay, when I start, so these are them, and your artificial intelligence and machine learning is the subset of your artificial intelligence. Do you agree with me? Do you know what's the difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, or deep learning? Just type yes or no. Do you know what's the difference between them? Okay, that's great. If Ashwini and Aman knows the difference. Okay, Shaz doesn't know. Okay. I will explain because I didn't explain it yet. Don't worry, Shivam. Okay, that's good, Shreyas, if you know the difference between them. Okay, I'll start first with the artificial intelligence. Wait, I'll go to my slide there. Yeah. Yes. First, I'll cover what is artificial intelligence. Now we can say, have you heard of IBM has created one product which is called IBM Watson, and it's a common example. Have you type yes or no? Okay, that's good. And for what purpose it is used? For what? That's and type then. Okay. Deep learning. As you can see, technology. So in for artificial intelligence, you have to study these kinds of technology for that. Okay, so let's and the machine learning is these agents. Previous also the example you have your whether you have there is one mail which is come into your inbox, you have to identify, your system has to identify whether it will go to your spam box or your inbox. So that's how we'll deal with the machine learning algorithms, and on which you have numerical data, right? So this is the machine learning in which we mainly deal with the numerical data. And in data science, as you can see in the diagram also in the slide, that the data science, when we use data science, when we have to solve a problem in an organization, okay, and some various company are mainly use data science because machine learning algorithms are used in data science, right? So machine learning again come into your data science, but the process which we start and how to follow the rules, that is a little bit different in that. But again, your machine learning algorithm, your scikit library is used in data science, okay. And then what is deep learning over here? Deep learning is mainly, we talk in this, we talk about brain, that is neural network, because we created many hidden layers in that, and it's not same with the machine learning because it works on unsupervised methods, and we have created neural network over here, and mainly the applications for which they are used NLP. Okay, so when you have to hear, when you have to speak, so mainly the deep learning example is the driverless car, that the images we have given to them, that if some images that you are driving a car and you don't that is a driverless car, you don't need a driver for that, it will automatically run for that. So that is the application which is of the deep learning, and it is like a black box deep learning, because you don't train your system like that, because you just train your system on, but not the basis on your parameter, and they take decision on which they have get the experience. So that's how deep learning works, but we are not talking about deep learning over here, because our main focus is the scikit-learn library, which again uses for machine learning algorithms. And when AI is used, when you have to build intelligent products, so machine learning, I told you that it is a combination of your machine learning and your deep learning. So I hope you have got the idea what's the difference between them. And I'll tell you one more difference between the machine learning and the deep learning. In machine learning, our machine need lesser data than deep learning for training purpose, and deep learning they need more data to train our system. And in machine learning, we can work with the CPU. There is no problem in that because we don't need higher processing. But deep learning, you need higher processing. So you need GPU for that. Okay, tell me, do you know what is GPU? Type yes or no. What is GPU? Okay. Then tell me what is GPU, Shreya? Manan? Yes. Yes, it is graphical processing unit. Yes. GPU is your graphical processing unit for performing calculations fastly, and for, because some industry in AI, in this deep learning, you need GPU for that. You can't run that code into your CPU because it will take much of time, because you have a large amount of data that can't be run in your CPU because it will take more of time. So I don't want that. That's why GPU came into limelight for betting for good performance, or we can say for a optimum performance. So that is a GPU, and we need GPU for deep learning. Okay, you need a separate kit for that if you want to implement deep learning. And in machine learning, I'll tell you what the feature and the targets are as we go into deep into that. But in machine learning, we need to manually define the features, that what are the feature I want to take, on which I will decide my result. For example, we'll take again the example of email verification. Whether it's the email you are getting, it will go into your spam folder or your ham folder. So how it will decide that? We will provide some features over here manually, that if you got some result, like if you got keyword like winner, okay, or lottery. So these are the keywords if you find in email. So what you can do, you can directly send it into your ham folder, that is your spam folder. Okay. So that's how they work, because in that we manually define which features I want to declare that. So that is in machine learning. But in deep learning, it doesn't apply that, because there is no need to manually define the features. Uh, because a system automatically figure it out that which features are important, on which features we have to declare that algorithm will work best. So there is no need for human over here, that we need to define which features the model will build. So that's the deep learning working. And machine learning, it is good and recommended when you need to control the feature, okay, definition and the recreation. For example, I just tell you that I want my system, whether these are the keywords, you have to tell whether it's a spam or your inbox folder mail. So you have to tell on the, so I have given them feature definition over here, so I have full control. Okay. So but in deep learning, when your focus is on output, not on the ability to define features. So in this, you don't need to define the features, because you just need the output. It will go into your spam folder or your index folder. So you just need to concern over that. So it is not recommended your deep learning if feature definition is important. So that's the difference between it. So yes, everyone should yes. So I hope that's the difference you have cleared. And again, this is again the diagram from which you can take. So I'll not explain, because we have to go to your machine learning part. So I'll tell you the types of machine learning and why we are using that. So I'll not just explain that, because we are not going into data science and the artificial intelligence. This is a data science problem. So I'll not cover that. Let's go to your machine learning. Yes. Now I told you what is machine learning over here, and we have to build a model, because there are multiple models over here to solve our business problem. So basically we have the types of machine learnings are three types. First is supervised, another one is unsupervised, and the third one is reinforcement. Okay, we have a three types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and a reinforcement. So do you know what is supervised and what is unsupervised? Type yes or no. Yes, participants, type yes or no. Okay, no. Okay. Okay, no problem. Okay, that's great. No one knows that. Okay. 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 So I'll explain what is supervised machine learning and unsupervised machine learning. So in supervised, all the machine algorithms in supervised machine learning we are having will train our code with the existing data. That is, if this data is labeled and we have the details about the properties of data, it is called supervised machine learning. Now, for example, again, I'll take the example of your detection spam mails. Okay, if you have to build whether it's a spam or it will go to your inbox, and you want to algorithm decide that. So what I want to have, I already have a data set in which I have already give them label, because I already know, because there are two columns in that data set. That is, it is the spam mail and it is your index ham mail. Okay, so there are two folders for that. And when I saw that, so according to that, I have given them label. 0, that it is your not your spam mail. 1, that it is your spam mail. Like this, either you can switch between 1 and the 0. So I have given them label over that. So if I give a label and according to that, I am training my machine because I have given them label. I have already the data which help them to train this. So on that training, because we already have the label data and the properties of the data from which we can train our machine. So that is called supervised learning because we have a label data for that, for checking out whether it's a spam mail or a ham mail. So you will feed this data to your algorithm for the training purpose and your code will learn, and based on this it will be able to make predictions on the future. If some new email comes on the unlabeled data set, because it knows the rule, whether it has some keyword, okay, it will go to your ham folder or your spam folder. So that's your supervised machine learning. That is, you have a data which is labeled and the details about the properties of data, and on the basis of that you are training your system. So that is supervised learning. Now what is unsupervised learning? That your training data is not labeled. Okay, so the first difference is in unsupervised machine learning, that your training data is not labeled. So if we use the last example, like we did, whether it's a spam or a ham. So our training data will not be clearly marked as a spam or ham. So you will simply supply the data, the code will run on it and mark certain emails as a spam and not a spam. So you will evaluate its performance, and that's how it learns, because you are telling the work which he has done, your machine has done, you will identify whether it's correct or not. And on the basis of that, your machine will learn that okay, he has done this error or something like this. Okay, so this is usually used in case business scenario where you need to perform grouping, or in case of the field clustering over there. So as you can see over here, classification and the regression goes to your supervised machine learning algorithm, and the clustering over here, it will go to your unsupervised machine learning algorithm. Okay, so I hope you have a clear idea about supervised and the unsupervised. Okay, let me give you one more example of unsupervised. Let's say if you have a data set of blood report of a diabetic patient, right? And you want to make certain groups on that, whether a person has a diabetic or not. So in this case, you can simply create an algorithm which will create a cluster. Cluster is like a group which will create a cluster of data set with the similar properties. Okay, this will have this blood level or BMI rate. So what it will do, it will create a cluster for that. It will create a group on the basis of the properties for that. So that is called unsupervised learning algorithm. So your classification, in which you have to classify whether it's for example, you have a problem in which you have to classify between the cat and the dog. Okay, if you want to identify whether the person, whether the image you are sharing with them, it's of the cat or the dog, in which you have categorized. Okay, that is the classification problem. And in regression, it mainly works on the numerical data. So if I want to predict, right, if I want to predict some value, so that's in case I'll use my regression. And clustering, I told you it is an unsupervised machine learning algorithm. So if you want also categorize some value, in that case we are using clustering algorithms. Then where we are, the third type is your reinforcement machine learning. Here you can see we are learning from the outcomes, then we decide what the next action we have to take. That is, you are applying hit and trial method first, then on the basis of that you will train your code, and if you have done good, you will get your reward. And if you don't get good, then what you will have to do, that we will give you some punishment over that the penalty we will give. So that's the example, that's how it learns. That is a reinforcement learning. And main example of reinforcement learning are chess playing bots. Okay, so these are the common bots which they have created. So these are the common example of reinforcement machine learning over here. So I think you have the idea why I am explaining all of this, because when we implement this machine learning algorithm code, so you should know which algorithm I should apply, and why we are using regression, why we are using classification. So that's why we need to understand first what is supervised, what is unsupervised. And in supervised, we have classification and regression. And in unsupervised, we have clustering. So that's how you should know what's them. Okay, is it clear to all? Type yes or no. Okay, that's good. Yes, I want everyone should reply so that I know that I don't need to explain it further, because now I'll explain what is the process of machine learning. Okay, that's great. Now let's start the process of machine learning. The first task which you have to do is, first is your problem statement. What is the problem if you are in industry and some problem came? So first step, you have to see what is the problem over in that data set, what you have to do, and then you have to import that data set. Now here comes your pandas, because we have studied pandas and everything which we are going to do using your pandas, because we have to create data frame for that. So that's why your pandas is very important, and we have done in depth we have done. So here for importing the data set, we have the library over here, that is read underscore CSV, which we already done that. And if you have a Excel file, okay, so first of all, read underscore CSV, we have done that. Type yes or no. That for importing the library, for importing the data set, we have data set in CSV format, we have done that. Okay, yes, we have done that. Okay, tell me, if you have an Excel file, then how you will perform that? Because your data can be in the text format, or it is in your CSV file or Excel file. Yes. Yes, I have already told you that read underscore Excel you can use for that. Let me show you. Okay, okay, let's okay, just do you have any Excel file? Just type yes or no. Just type yes or no, because I want you to use this function read Excel. Okay, that's great. If everyone is having Excel file, just try to read over that. First import pandas as PD. Okay, that's great. Then let's do the practical for the Excel file, because then I'll forget that, because there is some trick over in this. Okay, Manroop, you don't have an Excel file. Okay, just create one and give 2-3 values in that, no problem. Okay, Nimrit, if you're also not having Excel file, just create one and fill some data in that. Okay, okay, let's start with that. Just type command import pandas and speedy and start. You have to work with me, otherwise you will not get that. So for start, right? Okay, I'll wait, Tanishq, no problem. Should we start now? Everyone has opened their system. Everyone should have worked with me. Okay, tell me in which area or in which field are you guys really interested, whether it is in artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, or any other? Yes, everyone should type that so that I can guide you better. Yes, you need to upload in Jupyter Notebook also, Nimrat. Okay, AI, DA. Okay, that's great. Okay, AI, that's really great. AI. Okay, Sudhanshu, that's good. Okay, AI. So you, everyone, you should go to your AI field and you want to work in AI in your job also. Okay, that's good. AI. Okay, everyone wants to work in AI. That's really great. What about others? Shreyas, if you're really interested in AI, you should build application like Alexa. You will get to know better. And if you want to know more about AI, and the projects which we are doing, and data science and the machine learning, and how it started, and what you have to do, and what projects they are having, and the problems which the projects I'm working on, I have my company this Instagram page with the name of the Nidals. You can also follow that if you want to get more updates about AI and the machine learning. So that's basically for that. And my company name is the Nidus Technologies. Okay. So should we start now? Everyone has started their system. Yes, type yes or no. Tushar, it's Nidus Technologies. I'll type it for you. Yes. This is the name of my company. Okay, let's start with that. If everyone you have done. Okay, let's start with the Excel file because I have already the Excel file with the name test.xls. This is the format, and I am using the function pd.read_excel. So first, try to import pandas library. After that, try to use read excel function over here. Okay, so I have created one data frame in which I am reading my Excel file, so df1 over here, and try to execute this one. You will get an error. Try to execute it. Okay, did you get error or not? Type error or no. Yes, Hazel, you got an error. I told you, okay. Yes, Harshveer, you need to install XLRD because that's why I didn't tell you. Now I'll tell you. But okay, Shivam, because XLRD you have already installed. Nimrat, ma'am, you have already installed this package XLRD. Yes, tell me. Okay, let's cover that part now. Okay, Shreyas, yes, error because it will show you an error. That's why we are working, because I want you to get many error as they can. Okay, so that we can solve that error also. Okay, Ritu, no error is coming. Okay, have you installed XLRD? Try to run df1. Okay, yes ma'am, before. That's good, Sudhanshu. Okay, sure. It was installed. Okay, sometime it will not. Okay, now for them जिनकी error आ रही है, what you have to do, you have to install XLRD package that is mainly for your Excel file. If you want to read Excel file, so this is the package which you have to install, and you can directly run this command into Anaconda. It will directly run over here and start downloading package from this Anaconda. You don't need to go to the terminal. Okay, so this command is this one. pip3 install XLRD. Okay, So this is the command which you have to run on your Anaconda. And there is another method for that, for reading Excel file, is pd.excel file. Instead pd.read underscore Excel, there is another method or function which is called Excel file, which you can also use for reading the Excel file. But I'll prefer you to not use this function pd.excel file, because there are some things which is not used by this Excel file function. So I'll prefer you to use this pd.read underscore Excel function. So is it clear to everyone? Yes, type yes or no. Is it clear to everyone? Has everyone done that? Okay. Yes, we're getting still error. Okay, try to do this this method pd.excel file. pd.excel file. Try to use this, Shreyas. Okay, if not, Nimrat, if you are doing in this in Anaconda, just write the same command which I have done, pip3, then install, then xlrd. Okay, Shreyas, that error is in df head. Okay, that's okay. I tell you why there is an error in df head, because let me show you the error first. See this command. Okay, I'll copy my command in chat box. Yeah, do that now. Copy just this command, Shreyas, Pankaj. No, I'll tell you df head. Nimrat, you have to copy this command. And third block you are having the error, then what you have to do, then you also need to install this package again if you are having the error, Bhavya. Sejal, कहाँ error आ रही है? Okay, it is installed already. Then try to use this one, df equal to pd.excel file. I'll send you in chat box. Just try to copy this, and in test.xls give your Excel file name. Okay. Now I'll explain why we are having an error in df head. Now see over here, if you are using this function Excel file, you will get an error if you want to identify what are the top 10 values for the head, top 5 values in the head. So you see over here, you have the error Excel file object has no attribute head. Now what does it mean? Because when you are using this function Excel file, it will not. Okay, Sejal, you are having error in this, or have you done that? You are having error in this file. Okay, type your file in double quotes over here. It will not show you an error. Still error? Prior to that, implement Excel file, the next function which I gave you. Now see over here, Excel file object has no attribute head. Now what does it mean? Because when you open your Excel file, I'll open my Excel file for you. So yeah, just in a bit you will see in your system. Yes, now they have head, fixed acid, volatile, citric acid, residual. So these are your heading value, that it is having a heading value over that. And if you use this function, that is your Excel file function, it will not give a head value for that. So that's why it is given an error that you don't have a head value. So we can't use head method over here. So what you have to do, you have to identify, because there are different sheets in that. So you have to identify what are the different sheets in them. Then in that sheet, which one you have to identify. Okay. So this one you have to do df.sheets name, and it will show you the sheets. This you can see in that sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Then the sheet you are having for that, just write that. Then again, you can just write over here sheet 1. Okay. So you can't use head function over here. So that's the difference between the Excel file. That's why I don't prefer to use that. Okay. Now everyone has got that. Should we continue? Yes, should we continue? Okay. Okay, Ritu, I'll repeat. Okay, for you, I'll repeat. Okay, that's great. Has everyone understood that? Okay, just wait. Now see over here, because when you're done with the Excel file, what is do? This function removes your head part. And what is in your head part? You see if the Excel file, this labels fixed acid, volatile, these are my head parts. So I want to see this. So it will remove. And as you can see over here, we have a different sheets over here. This is sheet 1, this is data set. So it will get confused because if they are getting many sheets over here, not the current one. So it is confused that the which sheet I have to get for that. So for getting the sheet first, what you have to do, the head will not work over here. So what you have to do, you have to use sheet underscore names is the method name which you can use for getting the sheet. So here you can see sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3 over here they have used. And whichever one you want to use the sheet, use that one. df dot sheet 1. Then you will supply the command. Then you will get your answer. Okay. Okay, Bhavya, I'll scroll up. Yeah. So you can see my screen now. I'll wait for you guys 2 minutes so that you can take your time for this Excel file. Why I told you? Okay, you have created an Excel file. It is giving an error. Okay, Ritu, again you are working in a Colab, so you have to upload that Excel file in Colab folder in which you are working. So first upload that, Ritu. Okay, should we continue now? Okay, Ritu, how, where you have stored your Colab in CD folder, you have to find that, you have to find the path where it is storing your files. Okay, let's continue with our process, that the steps which we have to use for your machine learning. Okay. So we will do one case problem over that. So don't worry that we also have the implementation part, but I want you to first cover your this theory part. Otherwise, you won't be able to understand. So first step is your problem statement that you will get data also, and first is that how to read your data set. Because in pandas we have done that you how you can read your data set. First is from your read underscore CSV, and if you have Excel file, just use your Excel. So that's why we have done that. Now these library is provided by your pandas module, so you need to include pandas, and every data set you need to change it into a data frame. So as you can see over here, we have a data frame over here. And what is data frame? We have done that now. How to Tamanna, which platform you are using for that? You are using Anaconda or PyCharm? Which one are you using, Tamanna? Jupyter. Okay, I'll tell you then how you can upload that. Just go here to your home folder of your Jupyter, and you can see a upload button over here. Can you see that? Just click on this upload button. And here you can see I have my Excel file. Just choose that folder where you have the Excel file. Open. and just upload. Then it will get uploaded. Okay, Tamanna, is it clear now? Okay, that's great. Yeah, so what you have to do, you have the data set. Now you want to change it into data frame. So we have done in pandas also. Now you know why we have done pandas in depth. So I have already told you that a data set, that is data, is in the form of the rows and the columns. Here you can see in the diagram we have a 3 rows and we have a 5 columns over here, and the x is 0 is given for your rows and the x is 1 is given for your column. We have done that part now. Type yes or no if you have already done this. Yes. Yes, that's very good. Now I hope you are understanding this. Now is it easy for you to understand? Okay, that's great. Now the next step, first is you have to import your data, and the next step we have is the data exploration. Now this is a very important step if you are doing a data science or a machine learning project. So I'll tell you what is the exploration, because you have the data now and you want to extract important information by looking at the data. So I don't want to miss anything because I want to retrieve the information, and I want to ask some important question we have to find out from the project. That is the problem statement which we are having. And by analyzing, just looking at the data, that what information I am getting from the data. So just for the start, you can also use the third-party software, third-party tools also. But in machine learning, we basically use the command for that. For example, head, tail, describe. These are the commands which we are using for the data exploration, for finding out the information, that what the data type over that. How many columns have using the data type float? How many are using integer data type? And what information, what kind of data, how many rows or how many columns they have, what are strings in that, and what we need to do, what are the features we can use, why we are doing that, what is the problem statement. So these we all do in the data exploration step. So I tell you first क्या है आपके पास, importing the data set. Next हम head command use करते हैं, or that we have seen the data, because we want to explore the data, that what we have to do and how we'll do that. So this will identify in the data exploration step. And third step which you do is the data visualization. And we have already done that, because there are two libraries for that, Seaborn and the Matplotlib. Today I'll try to tell you the Seaborn library, because Matplotlib we have done, and Seaborn is a very good library if you have a large amount of data and you want to just understand that data, what is the working, and if you want to extract features from that. So you want to learn Seaborn also? Type yes or no. Okay, that's good, Vishal. Okay, that's good. Is there anyone who you don't want to learn Seaborn library? Okay, that's really good, because if you're really interested in AI and in this field, so these are the basic steps which you have to do, okay, in every problem. So after data visualization, now why we have done data visualization, because we'll take one problem over that and we will do every steps. That steps I'm telling you, we will do every steps, but how we can do that. And from the data visualization, I tell you already that picture speaks faster than the words, and it is more you can understand better from the picture instead of your data. So that's why we have used data visualization as method over this. And the next step for this is pre-processing of data. Now you have good understanding of the data. What is your data looks like? What is the data type they are using? How many columns they have? What type of the value they have? Now what you have to do, you have to move towards preparing it for the building prediction, because the main thing which we are doing from the scikit-learn library is that you have to build prediction model, because you want to predict whether it will go, whether your mail, for example, it will go to your spam folder or your ham folder. So this is your prediction model, because I want to build prediction, I want to give prediction from that. So how you can build that? Again, with the help of the scikit library. So this will be done in the pre-processing phase. So if it is in your initial exploration that the most columns are in your data sets, I'll give you one example, that we have a data set and in that data sets we are having a string columns. Okay, but I earlier told you that you have to work on your numerical data, that machine learning algorithms are working on numerical data. Then how can we work on this, the column that are having a string value? First is that you have to change it into numeric data. Luckily, there is one library in pre-processing. So that's come under pre-processing. The scikit library have a many methods for converting string data into numerical data. So how we can do that? There is one method called label encoder method. I'll show you that one also. Don't worry about that. So just remember, this is one method from where you can use your string to your numeric data. For example, if I am testing, if I am having a value, for example, I want to predict whether it's a good wine or not. Okay, we'll take example of wine. And in value, in the target value, they have provided that whether it's a good or bad. So they have a string for that, the value which I want, a quality, good or bad. But good and bad, these labels are in string form, and my machine learning algorithms are working in your numerical data. So what I'll do, I'll label them. How I label them? I'll give them a label. For example, good gives 1, and bad, your bad wine, it will give you value 0. So that's how I label them, and it will convert it into your numeric data. That's how we can convert your string data into numerical data. That's how your label encoder method works. Okay. Yes, is it clear till now? Type yes or no. Is it clear? Okay, Shivam, what's the problem? Okay, everyone has understood. Yes, tell me, Shivam, but you didn't understood. Tell me that part. I'll explain it again. I'll explain in practical part now. Why to encode string to numeric type? I already told you that done now, you have take string value over that. So what it will do, it will give you an error, that type mismatching. Now, for example, you have to, and why we are encode string to numeric now, because we have to understand, because we want to calculate the accuracy, that that which one wine is the good one and the bad one. So if you're having a data, that is a data frame having a different fields, that is you having a string field also, numeric field also, will it work or not? Because you are having a different fields over that, and I told you that in the machine learning we are providing statistical data, and if you want to calculate accuracy, and accuracy is using a mathematical operation for that, you for finding the calculating the accuracy, right? So how I find the accuracy from the string? So tell me, because I'm using statistical functions in that, so how I find the accuracy in that? So that's why we need to encode string into numeric type. Is it clear, Shivam, now? Yes, Shivam, is it clear or not? Okay, that's good. So the next part is your training and the testing set. Okay. So machine learning algorithm needs to be trained. I already told you that we are training our machines because we want to predict some value. So we need to train on the data set which we are having already. So we will train our machine on a data set to learn what's the relationship between different features over here. So what is the feature, what is the target? I'll explain you in practical part that what are the features over there. For example, again we'll take an example of your email verification, right? So in email verification, what are the features we are getting? We are passing two values, we are passing two columns for extracting. For training our data set, that you have to get your spam folder also, you have to get your ham column also. So on the basis of that, they are the features in which we are providing the training. And for testing also, and on what I want to predict, in that is called target. Okay, so I want to predict whether it will go to your spam folder or not. So that is my target over here, which I want to predict. So that the features which I'm using on a basis for training my data set, for training my machine, and for the testing, because what output I want, the output which you want, that is your target variable, the output which you want. Okay, so we need, so for this method, and training and testing data set is a already predefined library in your scikit-learn, is a method in that. So we'll directly use that. So you just need to specify how many values you want to give in your training data set, which percentage mainly basically you want to give your training, and which percentage you want to give your testing. So what we have to do, you have the data set now, and what you have to do, you have to divide the entire data set into the two parts. One is the training set on which we are going to train our algorithm to build a model, and the other one is the testing set on which we will test our model. Why we are testing? To see how accurate its predictions are. That's why we have divided into our two parts, that is the training and the testing. And it will done randomly, you will not get to know, but we just provide that if you are having a data set and I want 70 or 80% of parts will go for the training and just 20% will go for the testing. Okay, tell me one thing, what is the best optimum way to divide the data into two parts, training and the testing? Should we give 50-50 to them, or should we give larger to training, or how we can do that? Just type your answer in the comment box, in the chat box. 30-70, 30 for training. Shreyas, why? Shreyas Mishra, yes, 80 training, 20, yeah, that is good, but Shreyas Pankaj, why 30 training? Yeah, more to training, not Shivam, Maurya, not 50-50. Yes, Ritu, larger to training, larger for training. Just think about that. If you have a problem, if you have one data set, okay, so what you have to do, okay, okay, you are seeing all the bugs and the stuff, but if your machine doesn't understand that part because you didn't train very good, then obviously many bugs will come. Okay, so if I train my machine good, then there is a chances that come bugs will come out. Okay, Shreya, so that's why we will give more to the training part. Is training, it depends on total number of data. No, but it not depends, because the major part will will only go for the training. Why it only go for the training? Because of this, you are doing BTech, right? And आपके पास study करने के लिए कितने हैं? You have a 3 years or 3.5, sorry, almost 3.5 years, and in placement आपके पास 6 months होते हैं, right? So आपको पहले कितना टाइम पढ़ाया जाता है? 3 years, 3.5 years. वो ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है आपको. Why they will give you training? And for testing, that is for getting the placement, you are given 6 months or only 1 year for that. So from this example, you can see training and the testing, as you are doing BTech. So now, did you understand? Type yes or no. Yes, that's good, Tusha. Okay. Yes, Shreyas Mishra, did you understand why we are giving that? Yes, I want everyone should be interactive. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's great. Now we have one method that is train. This method is used in scikit-learn when you want to split the data, and this method will automatically split the data. That the method which we are using for train underscore test underscore split. So in parameters we will pass that how many data, that is 80% or 20%, which percentage you want to give for test, and automatically it will another one it will take it for training. Okay, so this is the method which we have to use for the training and the testing split. Okay, yeah, there for building the model. Now here comes, let's summarize or let's recover earlier. First step, what you have to do, you have to import the data set. And next, what you have to do, you have to data exploration. You have to explore the data, what kind of data they are having. Again, third step is the data visualization. What you have to do, you have to visualize the data for better understanding. And the next step is the pre-processing data. You have to pre-process your data, whether you have a string to change it into numerical, or if you find something from that. So that is a pre-processing of data. And the next step we have done is for the training and the testing set. So we have taken training and the testing over here. And for this training and testing, we have a method with the name train underscore test underscore split. Okay, so we are using this method in the scikit library, which we are using to splitting the data. Now, you have to build the model also. This is not your part because we are using scikit, so you don't need to understand. You just get to know that what are the algorithms we are having, and if it will whether I should apply regression problem, or I should apply cluster problem, or I should apply classification problem. So there is a link for that in my slides. I'll just click on that. Okay, just let me. Okay, just let me click on that. Yeah, this is the official documentation for the scikit-learn. As you can see over here, now you have to find out the model which you have to choose. You have the main thing over here in machine learning is you have to choose the right model for your data. Now you can have different types of data. It doesn't mean you can apply the same algorithm for that. Because it will give you less accuracy in that if it is not for that problem. Okay, so over here you can see that in the diagram we have a classification problem, we have a regression, and we have a clustering. So this is the data which they have provided, and in classification we have a different algorithms and when to use. For example, in classification you have the algorithms, for example CSV, your k-neighbor classifier, your naive Bayes, your STT. So these are the classification which we are learning. SVC is your support vector classifier. So you don't need to go into that. I'm explaining you this because you need to understand which algorithm you have to apply according to your data set. So it will work if your sample, your data is less than 100K, so it will work. And if your data is less than 10K, then you can also go for the clustering part also. But in this, the number of categories should be known. Okay, if the categories is known, then you can go for the K means and the mini batch means. If a number of categories not known over here and the data is less than 10K, then you can go for the algorithm which is min sheaf. Don't worry about the algorithm, just look over that these are the various algorithms, various categories on which we can apply. And if you don't understand which algorithm we can apply, don't worry about that, just go into this documentation and you get to know which one you have to use. Like I have showed you, this is the regression. When you have to use, if you have the data set one, this also, and the regressor you have to apply, what answers you want, like this. So I guess, I hope this is clear to you so that we can study more about that. Yeah, just wait. Yeah, so we can use this map as a cheat sheet to shortlist our algorithm, that which one you have to apply, okay, for our prediction model. For example, I have a list. For example, I have a data which includes more than 50 samples, and I have to predict a category for that. And I will check whether it's a label data or not. So for that, yeah, it's a label data. If I'm having a label data in that, and it is a less than 100K. So these are the values which I have get from my database. So on the basis of that, I got to know, okay, what I have to do. I have to go for the machine learning algorithms like naive Bayes, linear SVC, support vector classifier, or K-neighbor classifier. So I have to do the classification for that. So I don't worry about that. I'll explain in the practical session also which algorithm you have to apply, or on the basis of the data set. We'll take one case study also. Okay. So this is the conclusion, that the scikit-learn library provides many different algorithms which can be imported into the code, and you can use that to build models. Just like we would import any other Python library, you can also import that model for you, and this makes it easier to quickly build different models and compare these models to select which one is the highest, or which will give more accuracy, and which models to use. So this is all your theory part which we have covered. Now we'll come to your the practical part. But let me ask, is it understood, everyone? Yes, is it clear to all now? Can we start practical session? Okay. Okay, that's good, because let me know if you don't understand any of this, any part, because these things are very important. Yeah, okay, I want everyone should type yes. Okay, so we'll start the practical section over here, but we'll cover the things for first. First, what you have to do, the database on which we are working, first download that database. I'll give you the link over here. Yes. So what we are doing, we are getting the data, that is a bike sharing data set which we are having. So just download this data set. I'll give you the link in the chat box. Yeah, this is the link. First download this data set, and in the folder, as you can see, bike sharing data set. Okay, now go to this website also. I'm sending you the link. First, download the dataset, and second, go to the link which I have sent you now. Have you downloaded the dataset? Type yes or no. Okay. Okay, Tanish, why you didn't downloaded that? Okay. Should I wait for you, or should I start? Type wait or no. Should I start? Yes or wait? Type karo. Okay, I should. Okay, some are saying wait, and some are saying start. Okay. Okay, see over here. Data set description. So first step, if you are in a company, yeah, you data folder. No. You don't need to download this data folder, Shivam, because I already gave you the link for that. I just want you to see this link because we are having the data set description over here. So I'm telling you what you have to do from here. Now, if you see this in your screen, what we have to do, for example, you are working in a company, right? And what you have, you are getting this data set. They give you a data set and they give you a problem that what you have to do. Now, first you have to understand the data first. Okay, so primary task is your data set. So first find the data set description if you are getting. So from here link, you can see that we are having data set information over here. Just one sec. Yeah, that's perfect now. Yes. Now data set information. Here you have a data set information. So first you have to find the information from the data. So see over here what we have a bike sharing system which is a new generation of traditional bike rental where their whole process from what the membership, rental and the return back. So they have this kind of business and what they want to do currently there are about 500 bike sharing programs around the world and everyone is having their great interest in these systems due to their important role in traffic, environment and health issues. So we have to monitor the data set and we have to find which feature we have to use and I want to make the count okay from the real world application of this. So you can read the dataset information and we are also having the attribute information in that. In when you will download the data, you will have a two files, r.csv and the day.csv. And both are having these fields, okay, instead that is record index, okay, date, season, because you have to see and you will see over here that if it is one value it is a winter, if it is two then spring, three it is summer, fourth it is fall, right? And year again it is a numeric data, month 1 to 12 again numeric data, hour 0 to 23 again numeric data, holiday weather day or a holiday or a not, okay, weekday कौन सा day है again numeric. Now working day, if a day is neither working nor holiday, it is 1, otherwise it is 0. Now you can see over here what values they are using for the data and how they are using it. Okay, so on the basis of this, last value you can see over here, they have a weather shift also, humidity, normal humidity, wind speed, casual, registered. So registered and the count. All these information I am getting for counting whether they will go for my vehicle ride system or not. Because if you want to ride a bike and you go for a trip, you will see everything. If you are having a holiday or if you're having a weekday, whether you can take holiday, what's the season for good for bike renting or go for a holiday. So these are the things, are the parameters or I should say the features which will include for renting the bike. Okay, and here you can see that registered user. It is the count of registered user I am having, and CNT, that is your output, that is your target. So CNT is the count of total rental bike, which include both casual and the registered user. So we have a two type of user, that is a casual and the registered. Casual is means they are come, okay, they'll say we'll see कि हम देखेंगे कि करनी है या नहीं करनी है. And what about registered user? They have registered and have they paid the registered amount also. So they are the registered user. So they are confirmed user according to that. So I hope you are getting the information from this, that what you can take parameter for the feature and what you can take parameter for your output value. So first step, what you have to do, you have to take the information, you have to understand what your data set is saying. Either you can open your data set also and see the value from that and try to understand, but I got the information from the internet. That's why I'll show you that these are the information about the data set. So okay, I got to know what I have to do and what is in the database. Is it clear to all? Yes, type yes or no. Is it clear to all? Okay, this great Dipanshu. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's great. Nimrat, it will download in CSV file. They are having a CSV format. Okay. Okay. For Matplotlib, just not for Matplotlib. Let me. Yeah. Okay. First, I'll give you the command which you have to install, whether to see whether it is working or not. Okay. Wait, I'll writing the command for you. Yes. Let me just open my new file. Oh, no, I don't want to upload it. I just want to create new file. Okay. Uh, just try this command and tell me whether it's working or not. Type this command in the system and tell me whether it's working or not. Otherwise, you have to install sklearn library. Yeah, just try to execute this one. Okay, then good Shrivas. That is scikit-learn library is installed in your system. Okay, executing stable. Yes, again, module not found. Okay, that's okay, you've done that. Module not found. Okay, some are getting the error. Module not found. This is because uh, you don't have a scikit-learn library. What you have to do, just write the command. Okay, if you are having the error, module not found. Just go into your command prompt with install. Okay, and then scikit-learn. You can skip hyphen u also. Just download this one. Yeah, try this command. श्रेया will come to अभी आपको वैसे भी अभी इतनी जल्दी समझ नहीं आएगा which algo you have to use. You have to be patient for that. अभी हम डेटा एक्सप्लोरेशन वगैरह सब करेंगे. After that हम देखेंगे कि हमें क्या करना है. Get to know कि which algorithm you have to apply. Just wait for the practical session. We are starting with that. You are not just get into the data set. Okay, these are the data set. Now you can apply. That's not the thing. Because we have to analyze it also. That's why we have data exploration also. Okay. Okay, done. Has everyone installed this package? Yeah, tell me, has everyone has installed this package? Okay, done. That's great. Okay, that's great. Okay, just 2 minutes are left for the ending of this session. So just try to install this package and we will start the practical session after your lunch break. Okay, after your break. And tell me if you have any problem till far, so we can discuss that. Do you have any questions? Type yes or no.
Okay, so participants, if you have any questions, write in the chat box.
Okay, that's great. I hope you have everyone understood that part. Okay, that's good.
Okay, so ma'am, are we winding up here?
And before yes, ma'am. So before starting the next session, just need to install this library. So and after and the evening session, first we'll discuss your goal problem, the yesterday task which I gave you. Then we'll start with this practical session. Okay. No module name sklearn. Try to install Ankit this package in your command prompt. Anaconda command prompt with install scikit-learn.
Okay.
I type the chat box. Okay, that's great. Pip install sklearn is also working.
Okay, so participants, I think we should stop here. And thank you, ma'am, for this session. And we'll be joining back in the next session at 12:30.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you, participants. And all the participants are requested to join the next session by 12:25 sharp, so that the next session should be started at time. So thank you all, and start leaving. I'll end up the meeting now. Thank you
Okay.
so much, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay.